College scholarships are offered for all sorts of things, from sports and academic achievements to community service work. But a new group in Texas is offering scholarships to a demographic that just may surprise you. Scholarships for white males. That's right, exclusively white men only who maintain a 3.0 grade point average. The nonprofit group called the Former Majority Association for Equality was started by my guest today who joins us from Austin, Texas, Colby Bohannon, an Iraq War veteran and a student at Texas State University. Colby, what made you create this scholarship? You came back, you were trying to enroll for college, and you found there was just a real dearth of scholarships for someone like you.
Well, I came back from enlisting in the Army and went immediately back to school. And me and two of my eventual board members, we sat down and we looked at the landscape of financial opportunity for people in this country. And we found that there was a gap, and that gap belonged to Caucasian Americans who were male. And they were not offered by any ethnically based scholarship. So we said, hey, let's start one.
So this is, now it's not just for white men. I mean, you have to prove what? That you 25% Caucasian and 3.0. What do you, oh, we lost you. It looks like we lost our signal just as we're getting to ask him some good questions. We're going to see if we can get him back. But again, a really interesting discussion. I want you to go to Allie's blog. You can also go to facebook.com, Christine Romans, to talk about this. We're going to try to get him back so we can talk about just what these college scholarships mean, who they're for, and what kind of questions they raise, and also what it says about the minority-majority changes, demographic changes in the country. All right, gas prices up 20 cents in 1 week. Scholarships are offered for all of the true meaning of patriotism and our obligations to each other as Americans. College scholarships are offered for all sorts of things, from sports and academic achievements to community service work, but a new group in Texas is offering scholarships to a demographic that just might surprise you. We told you about this a few minutes ago. Scholarships for white males. That's right, exclusively white men only who maintain a 3.0 grade point average. The nonprofit group called the Former Majority Association for Equality was started by my next guest. He joins us from Austin, Texas, again, Colby Bohannon, an Iraq War veteran student at Texas State University. Thanks for joining us. Sorry about that technical glitch in the last 5 or 6 minutes. So look, you came back from enlisting in the Army and decided that there needed to be more choices for scholarships for people like you, white men. Why?
Well, Christine, it really was just us looking at scholarships in America and groups that are trying to help their own, and groups that are trying to help specific subsets of the population. Well, one of those subsets of the population was getting left out, and that was the Caucasian American male who wanted to go to college but maybe didn't have a bunch of money sitting around just because he was white and was male. And those are the people that we're trying to help. Now,
you get why there's so many scholarships for other groups, though, because for so long, it was just white men who were getting into school, and I'm talking until the last 30 years or so. So you're seeing that things have switched around a little bit, that where scholarships were meant to get people into college who never had the access before, demographic groups who never had the access before. You're saying now in Texas and in other states, quite frankly, the majority is becoming the minority, and for younger kids, especially when you look in Texas and some other states too, that they need to have a little bit of help now getting to college.
Well, unfortunately, Christine, I wasn't around 30 years ago to know what kind of people were going to school. All I know is what I've seen and what the rest of my board members have seen for our nonprofit organization, and that's all different kinds of people are going to school. And it just so happens that those few people out there that just have money laying around, they are truly the minority. The majority is that people can't really afford college. People were working 40 hours a week, 50 hours a week, going to school full-time, and still having to borrow money. Mm-hmm. Education is expensive. I understand that. And we found a group that has not been targeted yet by an ethnically based scholarship, and we're here to help those people.
What are the other prerequisites for this scholarship?
The the prerequisites are you need to substantiate financial need, prove that you are a member of your, an active member in your community, demonstrate leadership potential, and also show us that you have a dedication to your education with high grades, and that's about it. Also, be 25% Caucasian American and male.
How much are the scholarships? What, $500 or so, right? And you're getting the money from donations. Are you concerned at all about getting money from, you know, there are some people, quite frankly, who are going to see this and think that, for example, white supremacist groups and people who might not share your politics, quite frankly, who might think that this is something that they want to support. Would you take money from them?
One of the very first things that we realized when bringing this organization together was this is a very abrasive subject in America. And one of the first things that we wrote on our website, we wanted to state clearly that we do not promote any kind of racial bigotry or white supremacy, and we don't take money from people who do. If you're part of a white supremacist group or keep your money. We don't want your money. And that's our stance on that. We don't have any political agendas or any kind of message that we're trying to send. I've had dozens of questions about affirmative action. We're not saying anything about anything except for helping poor white males who are trying to go to college and need a little help.
Well, you know, we're told that in this economy that everyone, you know, needs to have the right kind of science and math-based, you know, education to get a job in a globalized economy. And you're right that a lot of people, you know, people are graduating from school with record debt. So scholarships, you know, we need them. We definitely need them. But, you know, you can see how some people might look at it and say, after men having the preferential treatment for so long, it makes them a little nervous, you know? Do you understand how some people might be nervous by it?
I can't say that I understand why people would be nervous about it. It's really about just broadening your horizons and looking at the entire scope of the population. If we're going to offer scholarships to Group 1, 2, 3, and 4, but Group 5 isn't allowed to have scholarships, that's a logical fallacy. White males, just because they're white and they're male, don't have a bunch of money sitting around ready to pay for $40,000, $50,000 tuitions. And so, you know, it's the pink elephant in the room. We're addressing that situation. Hey, it's time. Things have changed in our country, and this part of the population deserves help, and now, thanks to us, is going to get help.
You know, I'll tell you something, and something I think we can all agree on. If we could figure out how to get tuition inflation down a little bit, it would help people out, help everyone looking for scholarships out a little bit too, wouldn't it? All right. Colby Bohannon, thank you so much.
And gas prices too while we're at it, right?
I know, right? Everything's going up except income. Thanks so much. Nice to see you. We want your input on this story, actually. Join the discussion on Allie's blog, cnn.com/Allie. We're going to use some of your comments later on in the program. The president giving props to one of his Republican rivals over health care. Our Ed Henry coming up next to tell us what point the president was really trying to make. In Washington today, those meetings had been filled with budget talk and talk about the possible government shutdown. Today, they heard from President Obama about both. We're joined by senior White House correspondent Ed Henry every day at this time for our stakeout. Ed, what's the president's overall message to the governors?
Well, his first message was, look, I want you all to feel right at home here at the White House, but some of you governors looking at 2012 and running for president, don't feel too much at home. Don't take that too literally. It was a little joke, but it was sort of the tension hanging out. There was kind of the elephant in the room, if you will. No pun intended on all the Republicans. Because, you know, look, a lot of them are thinking about running for president. One of them, a former governor, Mitt Romney from Massachusetts. On a substantive point, it was interesting that the president decided to mention Mitt Romney in health care. Take a listen.
Mitt Romney, who recently said he's proud of what he accomplished on health care in Massachusetts and supports giving states the power to determine their own health care solutions. He's right. Alabama's not going to have exactly the same needs as Massachusetts or California or North Dakota. We believe in that flexibility. So right now, under the law, under the Affordable Care Act, Massachusetts and Utah already operate exchanges of their own that are very different. Operate them in their own way, and we made sure that the law allowed that.
In addition to making things a little bit more politically painful, if you will, for Mitt Romney by mentioning his own health care reform effort in Massachusetts, something that potential Republican rivals in 2012 are planning to make a lot of. The president had a substantive point there, and when you decode that message, what he was saying is that the health care law nationally had this provision that in 2017 individual states could basically opt out of the president's health plan if they came up with their own innovative ways to keep health care costs down. President now revealed today his first big change to the health care law by saying, look, I'm going to speed that up and let you opt out in 2014 if this bill that's circulating around Congress goes through, that he'll sign that into law. That basically shows the president understands his health care law is under fire, it's under assault right now, and he's trying to show some flexibility with these governors who actually have to implement it, Christine.
Ed, was there any moment in there that really caught your attention in his remarks to the governors?
Well, I think beyond health care, the other one was Wisconsin. He hasn't said anything in about a week or so about all those protests with the union folks and whatnot. And the president kind of reiterated what he had said last time. He said, look, I understand that you as governors have some painful budget choices to make. That's fine, but don't denigrate unions. Don't denigrate public employees.